This is KGW News at noon.
Well, enjoy the 80s today because much higher temperatures are on the way. We have clear sunny skies from the coast to the gorge. You see it right there. But a heat wave is expected to hit starting this Sunday. So welcome to the news at noon. I'm Drew Carney, and we're going to start this afternoon by checking in immediately with Rod Hill there in the Weather Center. Rod, when we talked this morning, you said the forecast was lining up to deliver several days that would top 100 degrees.
And the several days part is one of the portions that could equal a record with its longevity if we go 5 consecutive days, which could start as early as Sunday, of 100-degree temperatures. That would tie a record back in 1941. And we'll talk more about that coming up in my complete forecast a little bit later in the show. But here is for now, a watch area. It will become a warning as we get closer to the actual episode. But for now, it's an excessive heat watch. This extends from south of Eugene up I-5 all the way through Clark County and all the way to Kelso, Longview, and then the gorge out to Hood River. It does not include the immediate coastal areas. And it still looks, checking the weather models this morning, that the temperature range for the valley, especially Monday into Thursday, will be anywhere from likely that we make it to 100, and we could go as high as 105. Now, with that said, here are the actual numbers that I've put on paper. Sunday, 99, clearly in my mind. I wouldn't be surprised if we make 100. And then 103 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. High confidence, these are at least 100, 101. And then Thursday, we could do it again, reaching 100 degrees. We will be cooling off after that. Now, in terms of the coast, look at the beautiful blue colors of the Pacific. Just a gorgeous day. This is one of the 2 cameras at the inn at Otter Crest looking up to the north down in Lincoln County. The wind field does not look dominant. So because of that, it's tough for me to pinpoint which days could be just clear at the beach next week with 80 to 90 degree temperatures. Which days could actually be foggy with temperatures in the 60s and 70s. So we'll have to wait a little bit longer to pinpoint that. Right now, 76 in the Rose City. Warm, but pretty comfortable later today. 86 the high. My complete 7-day forecast. Any wind concerns? Also, we'll talk about that coming up.
All right, that's about 15 minutes away, Rod, so we'll check back in with you then. Right now, we want to give an update on the Wiley fire in Lynn County. For starters, it's now called the Wiley Creek Fire, and it's already burned 220 acres east of Sweet Home. Firefighters say the next 36 hours will be critical to getting a perimeter around this fire as they try to stay ahead of that extreme heat that Rod just talked about coming on Sunday. At this point, the Wiley Creek Fire is only 5% contained, and some level 1 and 2 evacuation orders remain in place for that area. Hawaii is dealing with the devastation caused by wildfires this week on Maui. We know at least 55 people on the island have died. Hawaii Governor Josh Green says people who live in the town of Lahaina will be allowed to return to their homes today to check on their property, but we know this much. Much of the town is unrecognizable this afternoon. Many people who live in Lahaina say they had little warning to get out. Officials did send out alerts to mobile phones, TV stations, and radio stations, but widespread power and cellular outages may have limited their reach. Meanwhile, thousands of tourists are leaving the island with buses taking people to the airport.
Like I said, we were up on one of the higher levels, and one of the windows on our suite, we could watch and see the fire as it was growing, and at night it was just, so bright from the flames and everything.
This is now the deadliest U.S. wildfire since the 2018 Camp Fire in California, which killed at least 85 people and laid waste to the town of Paradise. The situation on Maui is heartbreaking for the many Hawaiians living here in Oregon and Southwest Washington. KGW's Alma McCarty has more as they watch the destruction unfold from thousands of miles away.
As emergency crews fly in, thousands of visitors fly out.
We jumped out of the car and ran as fast as we could and got out.
NBC News caught up with Amy Springsteen as she headed home to Oregon. She says this is what's left of her Maui rental car. While on her way to dinner, she says flames took over the street.
There was debris everywhere, fire falling down on top of us, but we got out safe.
My heart was just ripped open. Devastated. I saw the images of the entire town being burned, just black, and I could not believe it.
In Oregon, Chris Nalongo has spent the past 2 days restless, checking in with family and friends still on the island. Many communication lines on Maui have been down.
You feel helpless and hopeless for them, right? We just sit and wait for updates. As people are being located, we're getting updates on that. But we are still getting updates on people who are still missing and trying to be located. So it's hard. It's hard to carry on knowing that your family is in danger.
Despite the tragedy still unfolding, relief efforts started up quickly.
The initial reaction was, how do we serve? How do we, and I think that's something that all of our Hawaii people are really doing, right? Like, our first initial is, how do we help?
Lealoa Kaula is executive director of Kalo HCC, the local chapter of the Hawaiian Civic Club. They're actively working to effectively support the families who've lost everything, including the homes they've lived in for generations.
They're all going to need to rebuild. We need to rebuild Lahaina. So our future, what we're looking for is, how do we help them in the long run? Because Lahaina will rebuild, and they're going to need all of us.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
We also want to let you know that if you are in a position to help the people of Maui, you can make a donation to the KGW Northwest Response Fund. We're partnering with the American Red Cross on this. Red Cross volunteers are already on the island. They're opening up shelters there and providing evacuees with a safe place to stay. You can text the word FIRE to that number on your screen, 503-226-5088, and we'll text you back with a link to donate to the fund. You can also donate in person, by the way, at any local U.S. Bank branch, or donate online at kgw.com. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland is appointing a special counsel in the investigation of President Biden's son, Hunter. Garland named David Weiss as the special counsel. He's the U.S. attorney in Delaware who has been probing the financial and business dealings of the president's son.
This appointment confirms my commitment to provide Mr. Weiss all the resources he requests. It also reaffirms that Mr. Weiss has the authority he needs to conduct a thorough investigation and to continue to take the steps he deems appropriate independently, based only on the facts and the law.
Hunter Biden's plea deal over tax evasion collapsed after a district court judge raised multiple concerns about the specifics. Garland's move comes as House Republicans are mounting their own investigation into Hunter Biden's business dealings. All right, back to some local news now. Take a look at this picture. Woodburn police need your help to find this missing 12-year-old girl. Bianca Vieira Garcia left her home around midnight last night. She's about 5'2", 120 pounds. She was last seen wearing a black t-shirt and jean shorts, and she may be carrying a black backpack with a glitter-covered front pouch. We also have an update on the search for a missing woman with dementia in Marion County. The sheriff's office found out this morning that someone did spot 74-year-old Teresita Lemus. She was seen last night around 7:30 near Hollywood Drive and Ash Grove Drive Northeast in Salem. Again, she is still missing, but she was spotted last night. So there's a search team in that area that's looking for her. They're asking homeowners to check security cameras to see if they spot her. Lemus was wearing all black with an American flag lanyard and yellow watch the last time she was seen. She was also carrying 2 black purses. If you have any information about this, you're asked to call the Marion County Sheriff's Office. A Gresham business owner, meanwhile, is sharing her frustration after she became the latest victim of a window smasher. Katie Caroon owns Opal Salon. It's in the Gresham Town Fair Mall. Security cameras captured the moment when the windows of her salon were smashed. Gresham police say the man responsible is Garrett Fine. He's also accused of doing the same thing 4 different times since June, but he keeps getting released from jail. The latest reason he was released is because there were no public defenders available.
It makes me upset. It's like, you know, my mom always told me there's consequences to your actions, right? He's not being held to his consequences at all, I feel, and it's very frustrating.
Again, that was the business owner. She says she's on the hook now for $2,000 in damages. The business next door, Wiley Hearing, was also hit. Well, there's a big event coming up this Sunday in downtown Portland. Event, well, that'll have a big traffic impact in downtown. We're talking about the 27th Providence Bridge Pedal, which rolls back and forth across the Willamette, covering most of Portland's downtown bridges. Over the years, more than 300,000 people have participated in this event. It's a car-free event. And it's also a ride for your, it's a car-free bike ride, I should say. It's also a walk that covers some of the city's most iconic bridges, including the Fremont, which, by the way, is celebrating birthday number 50 this year. So here's the information you need to know. Even if you're not participating in Bridge Pedal itself, 6 bridges downtown will be at least partially closed during the event. We're talking from roughly sunrise to noon on Sunday. You can find the full list of bridge closures and impacts at bridgepedal.org.